E-E-K?
Yep, that's how I guess normal people spell it Z-E-K-E, but I don't know. Some little Russian girl, when I first came out here, I was trying to get her to say Zach, and she kept going Zeke, 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 so that's what everyone started calling me.
And you're from Indiana?
Yep.
Like some trail magic?
Brown County, Indiana.
And when did you start, Zeke?
Let's see, I started yesterday. I'm just finishing up what I was doing last year.
Oh, okay.
So I did the South last year, and I'm just trying to get all the way up to Maine this year.
Wow, that's fantastic. When you hiked last year, what
I did Gatlinburg to Marion, Virginia.
Okay, so you've done sections.
Yeah, I've been a section hiker, and I've got to do a little bit of Georgia once I get up to Maine, and then I'll have it all done. So.
Well, I always say a section hiker is harder because you got to retrain yourself every time.
Yeah, that's how it's been. Yep.
Instead of getting your trail legs, you go home.
That's how it's been this whole time.
You got to come back out.
But it's been great though. I love it.
And you enjoying some trail magic?
Oh yeah, thank you guys.
You got him. Well, we're not with him. We just showed up with. Our wife's getting ready to come by, so I'm just catching y'all. Okay, appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
That way they can know where. Sure. Okay, guys, I got another person here that's attempting a through hike, and I just got finished talking to you. Give me your trail name and name.
Supersize is the trail name. Joe Zimmerman is the real
Supersize. Now, how in the world somebody get a name like Supersize?
Well, believe it or not, I eat a lot.
Ain't no way.
So I eat
Ain't no way.
So, and if I'm not eating, I'm talking about food. So, and I've made a lot of food creations over the fire.
Oh, really?
A lot of nights. Yeah. I just made Pop-Tarts over the fire last night, and it was a major success.
Really? Hey, Sherry, hey, catch it. That's your buddies, maybe.
Oh, hey.
Okay, we just got back. We cut it off and we cut it right back on. We thought we lost his buddies going across the street. Man, I like your hat. Let me get the picture of your hat.
Yeah, sure.
Where'd you get that hat?
I got it in Hawaii, actually. We went to the Bubba Gump's restaurant in Hawaii and picked it up, and I've had it for a couple years, and I took it everywhere with me, and it's a little dirty and everything now. I don't know if it'll last the whole way through the trail, but I hope it does.
I think it will.
I think so.
Are you a world traveler? You went to Hawaii?
A little something like that. Ever since I turned 18, I've kind of been, feels like I'm all over the place. So the next place to go is Katahdin, right? So.
Wow, I was just asking you about that.
Yep.
How long have you been thinking about doing this?
Only for a year. I didn't know that the Appalachian Trail even existed until about a year ago. I was listening to a podcast and someone was interviewing this guy who had done it, and I was like, that sounds like something I should be doing. So a year later, I saved up a whole bunch of money, and here I am. So.
And give me your real name, your first name.
Joe.
Joe. Joe, let me ask you a question. Have you ever met a person that has accomplished a through hike personally?
I don't think. Yeah, Ramblin' Man.
Ramblin' Man.
He's a two-time AT through hiker. So.
When did you meet somebody like that?
On the trail here. He's preparing to do the PCT right now. So.
But prior to you starting, you had never met nobody.
No. No one talked about it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't hear about it.
Had your mama or aunt and uncles ever met?
No.
All right. Do you realize that when you get through, you're going to be the first person that many people meets that's ever hiked the Appalachian Trail?
That sounds pretty good to me.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Now, when did you start?
March 9th.
All right. Joe, all your gear's working good for you?
Yeah, I'd say so. I like it all a lot. I got a new tent back in the NOC. I didn't like my old one. So
what kind of tent do you have?
I have the MSR Hubba.
Okay, and you like it?
Oh yeah,
people watching for next year, they'd like to hear that.
Yes, get a two-person tent. Don't get a one-person. That's the one.
That way you put your bag in there with you. Absolutely. If it's raining or something.
Yep, that would be the one thing that I would say everyone needs to know is make sure you don't get a one-person, no matter how small you are. Always just go for a two.
How many miles are you comfortably hiking right now at this stage of the game?
Comfortably, I would say like 16 to 17,
wow,
and
that's good.
I've pushed for 120 so far. I've done so. I would like to push myself more and do more 20s, but we'll see what happens. I also like to take my time and enjoy my day.
Yeah, you were just telling me you just sat there and looked up at the tall trees.
Yeah, especially when it's good weather. Why not? You gotta enjoy it while you're out here. So.
And we've talked about what all goes through your mind while you're walking. It's like it goes through your mind, huh, Joe?
That's right, everything.
Never believed you could think about so many things.
That's right.
You got all day. Now let me ask you, if you could change one thing about the starting of your hike, is there anything you could go back and you'd change? And of course, remember, I do this a lot so other people can watch this and maybe pick up on mistakes of others or advice from others like you.
Okay.
Or has everything worked pretty much like you thought?
I don't think I would change anything. Because no matter what, there's always going to be something. A month from now, I'm still going to be running into everyday problems. So you just got to kind of roll with them. There isn't anything that I got my original water filter was the Sawyer Mini. That was my big mistake. I'd say, don't go for the Mini. It takes too long.
That's what I want to hear.
I have the Squeeze. It's a lot better.
That's what I want to hear.
Always get a 2-person tent. That's another one. But besides that, so there are some gear things that are tough because you don't know what's going to work for you until you use the product. So you're going to go through a lot of trial and error with gear. But besides that, it is what it is. You deal with a lot of stuff out here, but you just, like I said, it's a learning curve that I'm going through right now. I think for my body and my mind, I'm just changing completely and learning a lot about what I can accomplish. So,
is it any one thing that you can think about that has surprised you, that maybe you didn't realize it was going to be this much time to think, or something like that?
The one thing that I'd say has surprised me is just the trail magic. Like, you hear about trail magic and you're like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. There are people with water waiting for you, something like that. The trail magic has been ridiculous that I've received. There have been, there's in Georgia, like a Baptist church that was grilling burgers. Well, no, they were grilling burgers on the road, and then when you get into Franklin, they're doing pancakes. But my best one, and I'm happy you brought up, I'm bringing this up because it's such a great story. I was planning on going through the Smokies without stopping in Gatlinburg, but I just didn't pack enough food because I eat so much. And so I ended up needing to stop in Gatlinburg. So at Newfound Gap, I was going to hitch a ride, and there had been this minister from the Baptist church in Gatlinburg, and he drove up in this big van, and he said, oh, hey, I'll give you a ride. And so he took me into Gatlinburg, drove me to the total other side of Gatlinburg to the one grocery store that's the real big grocery store that's in there.
Yeah.
He drops me off. I say thank you, I appreciate it, try to thank everyone as best as I can. Then about 5 minutes later, he finds me in the store, comes up to me and says, hey, I want to buy all your food for you. He bought me 6 days worth of food to get me all the way to Hot Springs, and it's just one of those things you don't even know what to say. No matter how many times I thank you, it doesn't add up for, 6 days worth of food. It was the most mind-blowing thing I've ever experienced, and it was so meaningful to me because of the Smokies were really tough for me. The weather was difficult, a lack of views, all that kind of stuff, and I was annoyed that I had to stop in Gatlinburg because I wanted to push all the way through. But I mean, he turned around my trip where I was in a kind of a bad mood for a few days. He made my trip, it was spectacular. The rest of the Smokies were great for me because of it. The views started showing up more, and it was, there's just, I can't say enough about it. It was a really great experience. I think his name was Bill, Minister Bill in Gatlinburg. Just fantastic guy, really great.
Hey guys, when I was talking to Joe just a few minutes ago, we was over there in the chair. I'm gonna let this car go by so you'll hear what I'm about to say. Joe almost wouldn't let me interview him. He said, I don't have anything to say. now I'll tell you what, Joe, they're laughing on camera right now because you've talked and you've got some great stories.
Well, thank you.
And I'm going to get a lot of good comments on this interview.
Good.
Thank you so much for giving me the time to do this with you. And you want to say anything to anybody out there, or any other thing before we close out?
Hi, Mom. I love you. And I'm sure you're watching this and thinking about me, and I'm thinking about you. So, happy birthday. Her birthday was just a few days ago.
Wow.
So there you go.
And he's been praying, Mom. I heard him talk about praying on the trail.
I have.
God bless every step between here and Cotton Joe. And again, thank you for taking a minute with us.
Thank you very much.